Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're here today to talk about CrossFit and injuries, and whether or not CrossFit causes injuries. Well, first off, anything you do, you can get injured. This past year alone, I've had friends where they were playing soccer with their little daughter, step back, ruptures Achilles. We know someone else where they were playing softball, went to sprint from first to second, calf strain, thought she tore it. So all different things can happen. We also had another friend where they were playing football on the beach. They dove, bam, landed, dislocated and broke their collarbone. So injuries happen in life. The only way injuries don't happen is if you're literally doing nothing, all right? But I have 4 main reasons why injuries happen in CrossFit. And the first one, real simple, ego. We hear it all the time. Hey, check your ego out the door, humble yourself, respect the process, wherever it happens to be. But it's still the #1 reason why I see people get hurt. They're so concerned about putting RX on the board, wherever it happens to be, that they're not able to check their ego. So egos aren't necessarily bad. Ego is kind of like the window, the filter that you see the world through. You just want to make sure that when you come into a class or across a gym, or if you have a coach, that you check your ego and you listen to the person who has kind of wants the best thing for you, okay? The second thing is having short-term vision. Now, this might seem a little funny when we're talking about CrossFit. Short-term vision is, I'm trying to be the best athlete I can this weekend, not, hey, 10 years from now, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling functional, I'm able to play with my kids. Hey, I can go out and play football on the weekend, basketball, and I'm not in pain for 2 weeks. A lot of us have short-term vision when it comes to this. We don't see long-term. All we see is the workout of the day. Hey, I want the best score, I want the best score, I want the best score. We don't see the long-term development. Hey, you know what? I'm bad at snatches. Today in the WOD, there's only 5 per round. I'm gonna keep the weight light so I make sure I make contact with my hip like I'm supposed to, instead of muscling, using my upper back and shrugging real hard for every rep. So a difference between long-term and short-term. The next thing I call the boiled frog. Some of you might have heard this story before or this analogy. The boiled frog is, if you take a frog and you throw it into a hot boiling pot of water, it jumps out right away. If you take a boiled frog and put it in cold water and slowly turn up that heat over time, the frog just sits there until he's boiled. A lot of us are boiled frogs when it comes to flexibility issues, mobility issues, soft tissue problems. Hey, you know what? When I run, I get a little bit of knee pain, but running's supposed to be hard, so I'll just deal with it. And over time, our body kind of down-regulates to that, so we get used to it. Until all of a sudden, bam, I have a serious issue with my knee. Maybe I have to get surgery on my meniscus, ACL, where it happens to be. Sometimes we're like that in CrossFit where it's, hey, every time I snatch, my shoulder hurts. Overhead squat, my shoulder hurts. When I kip, my shoulder hurts. Well, guess what? Maybe you shouldn't be doing that stuff if it hurts you, all right? Even if it just tweaks a little bit, let's find out what causes that tweak and take care of it. And if you have to roll out and smash out just to hang from a pull-up bar or kip, that's a Band-Aid for the problem. It's not finding a solution to the issue, okay? So don't be a boiled frog. Fix your issues. So again, you have long-term vision instead of short-term. Don't worry about that one workout. Think about 10 years from now, because most of us fall in that category of where we want to be healthy and functional for our life, not just for this weekend. Now, if you're a games athlete, regional athlete, you got to sacrifice. I don't know a single professional athlete who's not hurt going into game day or has some types of tweaks going into the Super Bowl, Stanley Cup championships, wherever it happens to be, right? And the last thing is we don't know our own capacity. Now, I can't take any credit for any of this stuff, all right? This one specifically I learned at a performance care seminar recently where it kind of rocked my world. It didn't rock my world, it helped me understand why people get hurt. So part of this is, this line is our 100% of our capacity. So no matter who you are, when you wake up, your environment, so that's anything around you. I'm not just talking about like air pollution and stuff like that, but wherever you live, wherever your day is, it starts putting stress in your body, trauma, it changes things. So that takes away from your capacity. And then let's say you've had some soft tissue issues, knee, shoulder, hey, pain here, pain there. We start adding blocks, taking up that capacity as we go. And now we have diet, all right? Diet's in there. This is injuries, soft tissue stuff. Now by diet, I mean, hey, do you weigh and measure your food? Do you eat quality food? Do you have a tendency to eat lean meat, vegetables, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, nuts, seeds, and oils? Are you off the chain sometimes, having ice cream, fries, pizza, and stuff like that? It adds stress, and it's going to limit your capacity because it's eating away at it. We're going to call this life stress at the bottom. And then we have sleep. Are you getting 8 hours of sleep a day, whether that's getting 7, taking an hour nap, wherever it happens to be? Are you getting sleep? If you're not, it's eating away at your capacity. Next thing is unplanned stress. So you get in a fight with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, your kid gets sick, there's a death in the family, maybe you're sick. That starts eating away. And now we're going to go to CrossFit, we're going to do a class. Cool, WOD, I did a class. You know what, I feel good, I'm going to start adding extra stuff. Bam, I'm past my capacity, I'm tweaked. My body can no longer handle the inflammation or trauma, things that are happening to us, so it can get stronger, instead it breaks down. And now something that you might not have been conscious of, kind of an unconscious issue, is now conscious. Now you have symptoms of it. So the cool part is we can manage this. We can manage this to an extent, right? Meditation works for that, okay? We can manage this to an extent. We definitely can manage this. And then we can start working on these injuries and soft tissue work. So that way now after the WOD, we still have all this room for capacity. And now you know what? Maybe you start adding in extra volume and you feel good. Maybe when you sleep a little bit less, it doesn't wreck you for a week. But now let's say, hey, you didn't eat well over the weekend, you didn't sleep well. Most people want to come in and be like, Monday, I'm going to make up for it. Well, Monday, your capacity is almost shot because of what you did all weekend. Your goal is to get this all managed so then you can work out harder. Most of us screw up all this stuff and then a plan to work out so hard that we make up for it. You're not going to make up for it. You're just going to tweak yourself. You've hit your capacity. All right. So I hope this helps you out when it comes to managing your stress or kind of managing your workload during the week when it comes to working out, so you know when to go hard and when not to, so that we don't get tweaked. All right. If you have any questions, comment below. Please share the video, subscribe. We've got more coming.